We here? Are we back? Uh, I'll wait to be sure to see if anyone else is in here. I'm not talking to myself. My cat, my demon cat, um, basically knocked something over, hit a plug, and we left for a hot minute. But we're back. Um, that's so irritating. Demon cat for the win. Oh, and we're booting up Unreal again here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, none of that saved, I don't think. No, nope, nope, nope. Nothing saved. Let's go into meshes and do. Oh my God. I assume you guys are back. Yay! I appreciate you. Yeah, Demon Cat. Um, I've returned. I appreciate you guys. Question was, why focus so much on everything's? I'm booting everything back up. Question is why focus so much on foliage and why not like save that more towards the end and like the polishing stage of things, which is a very good question. And it basically has to do with just the fact that I'm still trying to figure out how the whole thing works with the YouTube and the streaming and sort of that whole process. And a thing I have found out so far is that the average person and average just content viewer is extraordinarily fickle. So it's a situation where, like, if you show a like little development capsule, like just a wireframe of everything that you've got going on, um, and that's your thumbnail and what you have to show off for the day, that's good progress. That's great progress. That's a really, really valuable thing to show off. But only a very small demographic of people are actually going to click on that thing. And as I'm learning more and more about like how to do essentially all of this stuff, one of the things that's like dawning on me is about how to make things appealing. And even just a small number of visuals, even if just there's a small amount there to make things look a little bit prettier, that will make more people click on the thing. And the deal is that I'm in a situation currently where like I really need people to be clicking on things and I really need to get to a point where stuff looks good enough to be worth your curiosity. Which again, I'm glad you guys are all here. I appreciate you very much. Um, but it's not. This is not something I necessarily want to be a pastime thing. This is something I would like to be a more full-time thing, and I would like to try and sell this game. So just getting the attention of people, even if it's a small coat of glamour, uh, will go a long way. So that's that guy. Foliage Master. We'll do that, and now we're gonna like save every 2 seconds in case Demon Cat decides to rear his ugly head again. Um, Make some new folders. This one I'm gonna call curves. This one I'm gonna call masters. Move here. Make a new one called instances. Curves. We'll have Atlas, curve Atlas, Seattle, just go foliage, and then a new curve, which is a linear color called curve underscore. Do I watch and follow? Um, I don't know that I actually watch many other developers for the things that they're working on. I usually watch um like breakdowns of things, if that makes sense. People talking about like the design of games or how a process is done or like tutorials and stuff like that. Because I enjoy learning a lot. My favorite thing to do is like receive incoming information on like how a process is done. And less so about like, I don't know, watching other people go through their process. Um, which it sounds worse than I mean for it to, but take this guy. This guy will be a dark green for now, and then we'll go up to a nice orange there. And then somewhere in this, we'll do boof. Yeah, perfect. So curve atlases are interesting, and curves in general are interesting. So I've got this what I've got is I've got something called a curve atlas. And so this is how all the texturing is going to be done for the most part. And this is really cool. So I have a curve atlas, which is this one in particular is 256 pixels by 256 pixels. And what it is I've got the gradient curves here. I'm going to go ahead and on my right, I'm going to add a new element. And the element I'm going to add in specifically is the curve that I just made. So here I have a gradient, and I could add anything into this gradient. This gradient could be any thing really, right? Here I'm having it just go primarily between two colors, but I could have it go between 50 colors if I wanted to, which is interesting. I also don't have to go from dark to light. I can go through any number of things. And probably one of the more interesting uses I've used for this previously was I made it so that like I had the sun would change colors throughout the day. So it'd be really cool in the morning. It would go to bright white around noon, and it would start to get more orangey and then down to purple and then colors for night. And I had all of that mapped to just one gradient. So on this atlas here, when I put in this one gradient, what it does, and I'll zoom in as best as I can here, is it creates a single pixel gradient along the very, very, very top. I don't even know if you guys can see that very well. So, like the very, very top of this white bar, you'll see that gradient I made, right? But it is 1 pixel wide. It's 256 pixels. I'm sorry, it's 256 pixels wide, but it is only 1 pixel tall, right? So I could fit onto this gradient atlas 256 different gradients, right? So here's where the cool stuff happens. Is let me go back to the material that I was making here because we have to start over. Um, so I believe Atlas curve Atlas row parameter, and I'm trying to remember is this needs first the Atlas that it's pulling from, which we're saying foliage, and then it needs the curve that's pulling from, which is green. And I'm trying to remember it is uh Oh, goodness. Give me a second to open up my notes because I just don't remember how I did it here. So I need to find how I used to do it because I've already forgotten. Let me see what you guys say here. The, so the thing that was kicked over and took out everything in the room was the stream ended very abruptly a minute ago because my demon cat kicked the outlet and just took out everything in the room. So so that's the thing that went wily. Let me remember. Flax engine. I don't actually know what flax engine is. Um, Part of it, so there's actually a fun design principle. So I showed you guys last time that book called Universal Principles of Design. There's a really good design principle in there that's called preference over performance. And it's the idea that people will continue to do things that is are comfortable, even if something else would be more efficient. So, in a great example of this, you can actually probably every one of you could see right now if you look down at your keyboard. The layout of the letters on your keyboard is referred to as QWERTY, and that's for the first six keys on your top row. There's QWERTY. So that's the QWERTY layout of keys. But for all like typing and stuff like that, that's not actually the most efficient key layout. The most efficient key layout tends to be something called Dvorak, which is also those six keys. So DVORAK. And that's just a much more efficient typing scheme. It's like way better to use that way. But most people never will, and they won't. And the reason for it is just because we're so familiar with QWERTY, right? So I'll look into Flax for sure. I don't know what Flax is, um, but I probably will be sticking with Unreal just because it's the thing I know so far. Um, I also remember here. Sorry, almost back to showing you guys stuff. Do. Oh no, did I move it? No, I didn't move it. Okay. Let's see here. Do. Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. So now that I remember, so the thing is that what we're doing is we are taking a simple black to white gradient, which is this here, and it's just a texture. I just have a texture called linear gradient. And what we're doing is we're remapping everything in that texture to the gradient that is that single pixel line in the curve atlas, right? So here I have this gradient, right? It takes up the 1 pixel of the curve atlas, and now I'm remapping everything on that gradient, or I'm remapping every black and white in a black and white image to that one gradient. But since our gradient is just a flat linear gradient, it'll take it and basically just recreate your gradient for you using whatever you plug into this. Normally, you would do this for like a black and white image. You could do it for something like maybe the ambient occlusion map of something to make all of the shadows be one color and then have it fade into something else. But what's cool is that over in Blender, we've been mapping a huge number of things to just that linear gradient, the same texture that I've been using here. So if I take the grass, for example, here, and I'll take specifically this grass, and I'll give it the foliage master material here. What this should do in a minute. Oh, I might not have compiled over here. I'm so sorry. Is now we've got this grass here, which is doing this sort of weird, funky thing, which is fine. This is great. What's cool though is that I can make now any additional curve, put it on that curve atlas, and then shift everything around however I want, whenever I want. So let's say I need to make a new color in here or have some sort of like crazy color transition thing going on. I can basically take just this. Let's make a new curve. Back over in the textures land. Curves. Uh, curve linear color. And I'll call this curve underscore autumn, I guess. And our autumn will go from crazy orange, maybe, or like a kind of gross yellow to a really pretty deep orange color. And I'll take this yellow up if I want to, right? So we've got from maybe even an almost green. I could pull it a little bit more towards green. And we'll put like a yellow in the middle, like a really bright yellow in the middle. Cool. So now I've got this thing called autumn, and I'm actually going to take this and I'm going to make it a little bit more red as well. So now I've got a curve called autumn. I'm just going to add this onto my curve atlas here. So I've added autumn to my curve atlas. And now I could take that grass that I have, which currently looks like this. And I could do the same thing, except instead of being green, I could have it be that autumn color instead. So apply, boom, and now it's the autumn color. Where this gets really cool is the fact that I can do all of these different gradients and start having them like fade between each other on any sort of parameters that I want. So I could have like, I could honestly use the text coordinate, could use the texture coordinate as an alpha. And I've been doing it so that gradient comes first. So I could do both of these. Oops. Boom. So fade between, say, this and this, where this first one is the green. This is going to be a really weird and kind of bad result. But screw it. Why not? Is not really going to look like anything. But now it's fading between those two curve atlases based on the gradient that I laid out in the first place. The cool thing though is just that I can do this for everything, right? So like the texture memory, the textures that need to be loaded for this to work is just this one texture. Like this linear gradient that I'm covering is the only texture that needs to be loaded because everything is just mapping off of this. So that's the real reason why we're doing it this way, is just that the memory efficiency of this is silly. It's very silly because it doesn't exist. Free texture for everything. That was a really roundabout example that didn't really result in anything. So I'm gonna just start making my color curves here as I need be. Let's take that one back to green. Green's fine. Um, oh, this should be a parameter, right? So if I make a, that's another thing that's nice is that this is a parameter, so I can change it also dynamically whenever I want to. Uh, we'll do this, create material instance. We'll call this inst underscore grass. And in the last project I was working, yeah, perfect, perfect. Um, in the last, what is this parameter supposed to be? Um, oh, it's the atlas. Okay. In the last project I was working on, I actually had it set up such that foliage and stuff could change its color based on the time of the day. So I can use a couple just really interesting things in order to change all of these colors at will. There's some fun stuff. It's gonna be fun. All right, so actually going back to our meshes here, this should not be using that. This should be using the instance here, which is perfect. Um, and I'll make my foliage bit by bit as I go through and just figure out how everything needs to be laid out here. So this is the instance for grass. And this is also using the instance for grass. That's fine. So what I specifically want is the color to do a couple things. So I also think, let me make sure, I think I can take just a linear gradient and plug that in there. I don't think I even need to use this texture sample. Cool. Yeah, I don't even need to use the texture. That's nifty. So we've got the this should be generally, I can make a literal bool. I can make sure that this is a, no, static bool parameter. There we go. And we'll call this use mask. I should be able to, I haven't done this in a while here. There we go. Cool. Branch. Nope, 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 nope. Branch. Is it called branch? I don't even remember. Um, no, we won't worry about that. I'll worry about this in a minute here. For now, we'll just say that all of it is specifically, uh, oops, masked. And then the mask is using specifically the texture coordinate from texture coordinate 1. Um, I don't need that. Um, hmm. Give me a second to look something up real quick here. Oh, goodness. Nope. 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 Oh, my goodness. Bec- because I had so many tabs open when I relaunched the internet, it was like, let me play every YouTube tab at the same time. Let's see here. See, I thought it was called Branch, but it's not. Does anyone happen to know in oh, is it Switch? Don't I don't even remember. More Alive troubleshooting is I think it is Switch. There we go. There we go. Okay. Maybe. Certainly maybe around 50 tabs. Oh, this is just what it is. I don't need to use that's right. That's right. That's right. Okay, perfect, perfect. Um, so let's see here. Use mask. If we have use mask, and let's see here, shading model. Okay, perfect. If we have use mask set to true, we want to, oh, and not shading model, I'm sorry, blend mode. Blend mode. Keep writing in Blender. Um, is there not an option for that? That seems strange. Or maybe you know what I could do? You know what I could do? Is I could do this. We'll just do it this way. Use mask. Yes, do that. Use mask. Or yes, should be there. No, should be that. Perfect. Default value. Yes, use mask. Perfect. That'll work out just fine. So our color is set with this parameter. I can also rename to curve atlas selections. Perfect. Um, and then do. Is there anything else I want to do at the moment? I'll make actually another switch, and I'll call this one uh, switch parameter. I'll call this use world position offset. The answer is no, then don't do anything. But if the answer is yes, I think I need to give it something. Oh, shush. If the answer is yes, we'll do simple wind, simple grass wind, and we'll give this 4 values here. So boom, boom. And this is again all very temporary stuff leading up to the eventual 0.5, 5, 0.5 and zero point 0.5. True. So now if I look at any kind of thing here, I should have my material instance for, oh, this goes in here. Move here. Grass, and I've got use mask. Uh, no, don't use a mask, but use world position offset, yes. And that should do just fine there. You can see Unreal's not having it, but there we go. Perfect. Now, if I come over to, and basically we're just going to go through and we're going to do this. So I'm going to make a new instance here, create material instance, and I'm going to call this flower. And what I should be able to do is go into flower, change its settings just a bit, um, and, oh, you know what I'm going to do? Uh, curve, linear color. I'm going to call this curve underscore um probably just none, or I don't know, testing. I'll just do none. And that'll be a flat neutral gradient. So let me add in none here, and none should actually be the first one. That way, if I don't have any kind of gradient applied, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then instead of defaulting to green, it can default to none, so I can very clearly tell when something needs to be set or has not been set. That way, I don't default to turning everything to grass. I default to turning everything into black and white. Which is lovely. So yeah, so now these are all black and white, and that's fine and good. And I can go into the instance for grass, and I can say use mask, no, offset yes, and the color curve should be green. Oh, but it looks like we're not quite. Save all. Green. Save. There we go. It looks like there is something affecting the um I wonder, is it possible to do just that? Does that compile? Or does it yell at me? That does compile, and that's what we'll do. Okay, cool. And then also for the world position offset, there's one more thing that we're going to add in, which is a multiplication. So basically, one of the things to sort of deal with at the moment is that the grass is like moving around and doing its thing. But the issue is that if there's wind, the bottom of the grass shouldn't really be moving. So add in something real quick to make sure that only the tops of the grass are moving. And the way we can do that is by adding in a lerp. So lerp between the, movement and no movement. Or I guess, I'm sorry, no, lerp between no movement and movement using the get vertex, or sorry, vertex color. And that should be our world position offset. So now, if world position offset is turned on, only the tops of the grass should be moving and the bottom should be static, which looks like it's doing about what it ought to be doing there. which is awesome. Okay, cool, cool, cool. This is our flower instance. We just need to make a flower curve, and that should be fine. So curve none, green, autumn. I'm going to change autumn because that was just supposed to be an example. So this will be one of our flower colors. Um, and I do really like, we had the other day an example from blue to pink or purple that I thought was really nice. So we'll probably do something like that again. We'll see how that works. So this we'll call that. And they'll say this is going to be our flower color, at least one of our flower colors. Curve underscore flower. Go back into here. All that set up. Perfect. Flower instance foliage master curve for flower. So now I can go into the flower instance here. Should it use a mask? Yes, it should. Should it use world position offset? Yes. The color it should use is flower. And now if I just take this guy and throw flower on, at least to one of his two materials. This asset, I believe, has two material slots. But the first one should look real pretty if I take Bud here and give it the flower instance. But it's not using the texture coordinates like it's supposed to. Or not the, I'm sorry, it's not using the mask like it's supposed to. Use mask. But yes, use mask. All right. It is masked in some fashion, but not whatever fashion we want it to be here. Yeah, gradients and alphas. If I plug that in, hmm, let's figure it out. Still not making the thing it should be. Unless I did it backwards at some point, but I don't think I did. Like every time I compile, the OBS says, "Oh, this is not good." Um, it's looking like something is. Oh. I might know why this is. I know. I might know why this is. I might know exactly why this is. Hold on. I'm going crazy here. I know what I'm doing. Lots of just forgetting and then remembering and then forgetting and then remembering. I need this to be in here somewhere. So this was the whole, yeah. Okay. Yes. That's what's going wrong. Why? There we go. That explains a lot. Perfect. Okay. And then this is the thing that should have, if true, use this. If not true, don't use anything at all, or probably just a value of 1. So now if I hit apply, And all of that is in the foliage masker. So if I go back to the flower itself and I turn off, no, I'm sorry, not the flower. If I go back to the instance of the flower, yes, there we go. And I turn off use mask, we should get a solid. Perfect. Perfect. Use mask, yes. Save. And now we can do that for basically everything. So we got the grass, we got the stuff. Perfect. Yes. All right. Um, so this is actually inst underscore flower. We could create even duplicates of these to change the color of the flower and all sorts of stuff. So this is the, and I'll make a new folder here. We'll say Atlas. Put this guy in here, move here. You can never have too many folders. You can have too much of a mess, but you can never have too many folders. Oh boy. It's funny because I only have to do each of these individual components like once every several weeks. And it's a shame because then I have to go back and be like, how did I have to do that thing again? And oof. All right, so the curve's going here. Perfect. So this is the atlas. These are the curves. Let's make a new curve. Curve. We'll make a curve called stem. Curve underscore stem. We'll make a curve called curve linear color. Curve underscore trunk. We'll make one for. Can I just duplicate this? Control D. I can. Curve underscore leaves. We'll say curve pampas grass. Yes, and then we'll go through and we'll set each of these curves. So here, leaves will just make go from dark green to light green, I guess. Actually, no, we'll go from a very blue green. Yeah, so these will be leaves. Save that. Pampas will be from very oat kind of color to a other oat kind of color. Maybe just a very more greeny kind of thing, I guess. And then we can change all of this basically at any given time, which is lovely. Perfect. Those are stems. And then our trunk will go from brown to other brown. Or let's do from a like dark desaturated brown to a lighter, a very light, very saturated brown. There we go. So here is just a bunch of curves that we've added. Going back to the atlas, we can now add all of those. I don't really know how many ones. Leaves is a new one. Pampas is a new one. Stem is a new one. Trunk is a new one. And I can do this up to 256 times. So this whole texture, again, this, and the more I add in, the more you can see each of these like individual pixel lines up here is just one. So the texture that I'm using is just this, which is just cool. So I can go into each part of each material and make a new instance again of each one. So we'll go into the master material here, create material instance, and I'll call this the stem. And this will do a couple things. This does not need to use a mask. This does also not need to use world position offset, and its color is stem. So with this instance here, I can go back to our flower and say that the stem is supposed to be stem, just like this. And it's still using the world position offset, which it's not supposed to be. So let's figure that out real quick. Back down in the material instances for, sorry, not flower, for, I just haven't moved it yet. For stem, oh, it's because I need to turn these on. Use mask, no. Use world position offset, no. And that's how that ought to be. So now if I close this, perfect. And I could use world position offset for it. And I even see things that are not going quite as intended. I don't know if you can see, but the normals of the stem here are flipped. So this is all stuff that's not going to be like necessarily a huge issue. It's stuff I'll need to fix eventually. But like I say, the whole goal of all of this, because someone asked a question earlier about like why focus on the visuals this early on. And it's just to make something that looks passable. This is not something that most people are going to look at right away or in any sort of detail. This is something that's going to be like seen from very far away at any given time. I'll call this flower leaf. And we'll just turn everything on all the time. Use mask, yes. World position offset, yes. I'll use the leaves color for it. And then over in the actual mesh itself, this is supposed to be our flower leaf. So it looks like that, which is nifty. So yeah, so gonna go through, add in color to everything. And then we're going to start working on a little bit of level design just to make a couple different levels that can be loaded in and selected and painting it all so it looks very nice. We can do also a couple other things. There's textures. There's just so much I have to do. But it's okay. Hopefully, I think that by the end of the week, maybe, by Friday's stream, I'll have at least something to upload for everybody on Patreon, and I'll probably make a video that I post on Friday. Like actually posting a video. So that's sort of the plan. And if there's any miscellaneous stuff to fix between now and then, that can be done as well. For this, for the pampas grass, we can take, this can just be this stem. I don't mind using the, oh my goodness, flower stem. That's fine for now. This will be the pampas material, which I haven't made yet. Yeah, it looks like all of my stems and stalks of flowers and stuff are actually facing the wrong way. So, hooray! Material instance. This will be inst score pampas. Turn all of this stuff on. It is using world position offset and it is using stuff. So we can do that. And in theory, that should set that right away. No, because we haven't made it yet. Right. Keeping track of what I'm doing here. This guy, this guy. Perfect. It's a little janky. It's very janky actually, but that's fine. I'm not happy with all of those being inverted. I'm gonna go deal with that in just a minute here. Uh, it's also thick with like 7 Cs. In theory, let me test something real quick here, because a lot of this is also not supposed to have cast shadows. So I go to foliage. Let me turn this guy off for a second here. Put this guy in, and then turn off his cast shadows. If I give him a little paint here, let's see how it looks. Yeah, we'll need to fix the stems, but that actually doesn't look that bad. That could look a lot worse for what it's worth. Okay. Erase, get rid of all this. And I think that's a lot of problem with a lot of things as well. Like the grass shouldn't have a cast shadow. Um, we might be able to leave the pampas grass with the cast shadow, but I think that was also causing a big problem with the trees as well. Um, trees should have cast shadows. I don't know. We're figuring out as we go along. But let's get the rest of these little guys in here. For this, I might just use the grass because I don't mind so much. It is its own thing. Bobbing and weaving below the environment. We love that. Um, for these little guys, I'm gonna call them. I didn't separate the names of, or I didn't separate in the mesh. I don't think I think these are all just one little thing. No, no, I did. I know what I did. I know what I did. We'll make a curve and we'll call it curve for, I forget that I can just keep duplicating these down here. Curve dandelion or like little dandelion, which should go from right here. This can be yellow, right? And arguably I could make this like a really dark thing like that. So this is where the sort of strange power of using the gradients to do all of this comes in really clutch and weird and exciting like. So the way I made these guys, right? And if I zoom in far enough, you should actually be able to see it. So it's just a square which has been brought in and then brought to a little pyramid. And the thing is that the pyramid part in the center exists as an actual full gradient. It's everything on the outside that exists as just one raw color. So I actually made the curve I just made backwards. So let me do that. So the interior is a gradient, the outside is flat. Which I realize now means I need to unwrap that differently in Blender. But with what we've got currently, where's the dandelion? So the gradient would be probably from dark to bright yellow. And then the outside is just white. So it would look like this. I lied. So yeah, so it looks like this. And so if I take, I need to make a new material instance, right? Go in, do instance dandelion. Lovely. Um, it does not need to use a mask. It should use world position offset, and its curve atlas is not yet added to the atlas. So we'll do that real quick. Add in a new one. Look for dandelion. Save that. Curve we're looking for is dandelion. Save that. And if I put that on the yeah. Oh, okay. So we can change this just a little bit here by going into the dandelion curve. I'm going to put this over on the other screen so you can see its change happening as it happens here. Oh goodness. But coming back to this, if I basically just make the point at where it turns to white come out more, I can bring this down and that down as well. Yeah, perfect. So I don't know if you saw that in real time, but basically I can slide around and change again all of these values and the coloration of things in real time. Thank you. Um, so yeah, so that's a good example of like these dandelions doing stuff. Is I can oh, here, hold on one second. Does anyone know how to align the camera position in the game mode with the scene? I do not actually. So like you want to have a scene camera set up like this and then align the camera to it, for example. I do know you can put static cameras um in so like in your character, you can do at a like event begin play, you can actually set your camera to just be aligned to a particular world location. You could also do that in your in like your level blueprint if you wanted to, depending on your needs. Um, but how to align it exactly, I'm not sure. I'm sure there is a way to though. So with our little dandelion guys here, let me go back into taking this guy. This I can use as the... There's some jank going on here. There's a lot of jank going on here, but that's something that I will worry about later. So for now on, for now, those will be our dandelions. Um, Last is to make these little flowers here, which will be a different one. I'll need to make a new curve for whatever color these flowers should be. Curve underscore. I know, you know what? I keep forgetting. Sorry. Curve flower red. Sorry about that, Rose. We'll make these pretty red flowers. Like such. And we can go in and sort of address some of the naming in this later. Because this is all sort of hurried at the moment. Because I want to get into painting around with things. So going back into the meshes, I can take a look at these guys. Oh, and I need to make a material for it as well. Flower red. Perfect. Use mask, use world position offset, flower red. Yes. And then in the asset itself, we can take this up to flower red, and we can take this to, and at some point what we'll do is we'll take out a lot of the flower colors and we'll give them a just dynamic color offset. So basically you can change the colors as needed. Um, oh, those are cute. I like those. And then we'll give this grass again. Perfect. And actually, is there a reason why? Let me go back to the I didn't give it grass. What did I give it? I gave it leaf? No, let's give it grass. Yeah. So this will be our foliage to start. And then we'll do the tree real quick, and then that should be pretty good to go in theory. Okay. Boop 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 boo. We do have a curve for the trunk, and we do have a curve for leaves. And those are already on the atlas. We just need the materials for them. So let me go ahead and put all of this back in the instances. Move here, which is great. And then we'll create two more material instances. We'll call this one underscore trunk. And then we'll create one more called instance underscore leaves. Trunk will not use a mask or world position offset. We'll use the trunk. And then the leaves, we'll use all of those things and use the leaves, which should look like that. Finally, we can take in the tree. This should use the leaves, trunk, look kind of like that. Perfect. Hello, Storm Run Gaming. Do you know how I can make my level key presses active after a widget? The widget key presses stay even after the widget is removed. Overwrites the input. There should be, and I'm assuming, are you using Unreal Engine 5 or some version of 4? Because the answer to this kind of changes depending on which you're using. Basically, if you're using, well, regardless of which system you're using, um, and this is assuming I'm understanding your question there. In the enhanced input system and in both input systems, there is an option to have your input be consumed, which basically means, yeah, Unreal Engine 5. So, yeah, there's an option in your inputs that says consume input. And you might need to add it as a modifier. I'm not quite sure. I could look it up in just a minute here. But basically, if you want an input to be consumed, that means it goes away entirely, like once it's pressed. And just making sure that you're having that happen when you're using a menu or are in a menu will make sure that it's not also affecting the game underneath. If I'm understanding what's happening correctly. Oops. No, keep that. No, no, you're good. You're good. Eh, eh. So I believe now, and what is the, oh, this is the clover. Okay. So I believe now, let's go ahead and make one final thing, and we'll make our ground just a kind of amorphous green for the moment. You're good. I've been just talking to myself and working away here. Today's a chill day and not the most interactive thing because there's a crap ton of stuff to make here. We'll call this Matt underscore landscape master. And for now, it will just be green. Or maybe kind of a brown. No, we'll do green. Something kind of like that. Cool. There's the landscape material. I love it. Boom, 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 boom. When it starts, I can press A on an NPC. The widget opens. In the widget, A makes the text continue. Oh, that's weird. Um, I would assume that that's a question of input. Also, that well, yeah, there's a multitude of different things that could be causing that. But that sounds like the widget is not actually being like removed. That sounds like it's just being hidden. Which here, give me like 2 seconds because I want to help you if I can. And real quick, my question is, because this is the this if this is how you're implementing it and doing it, then I may not have an easy answer for you. But make sure that whenever you're trying to remove a widget from the viewport, that you're using that like you just don't want to be affecting anything anymore. That you're using the node remove from parent, because by removing it from parent, it is then being like essentially deleted from the scene until it's like called again. Um, but if you are removing your interface by using the remove from parent node, and that is what you're doing, then I'm not actually quite sure what would be causing that. The issue being for anyone watching this in the future that they have a text box that once you click through and the text box goes away, if you continue pressing the button, the text box reappears. So yeah, so make sure that you're just using remove from parent, the remove from parent node when you want to take it away. Um, Otherwise, you might just be hiding it. Hmm. Then yeah, that's one of those like deep uh deep errors that's going somewhere that I would have to like go through and look through and try and figure out what's going wrong. Holy crap, that is bright. That is not the color. That is the bad color. That is the bad color. Um, it's also specular and glossy and all sorts of things. That is not the color to be using for holy cow. Roughness, 1. Um, Specularity, 0. Let's try that again. Still very bright. Good enough for the time being. So let's try coming in with a couple different foliage things and let's just see how our foliage goes. Okay. So I'm going to bring in, I think, literally everything in this area. And this is all stuff that we can edit later. Um, But let's just try going through. This is where's my sparse grass? There's a couple of different values of these to edit, and that's just going to be up to a little bit of trial and error here. So that's sparse. Can take that down to 50. Let's take that down to 20. I think, no, 35. Perfect. Um, and then we're going to add in some fun scaling. So 0.75 to 1.25, 0.75 to 1.25, and then we'll do zero point 0.8 to 1.2. And the minimum distance between them is 20. And then we turn off cast shadow. So now if I run around my environment, it's a little janky, but we're starting to get there. Oh yeah, materials can get really, really complicated. Like hilariously complicated. And like even just with what I've got on currently, right? There's so much that I can change so rapidly. Like my grass is just really bright, so I can adjust the curve of that and make it a lot darker. Um, One of the nice things about doing it with curves and the way curves work is that I don't actually need to recompile anything. I mean, it's already in an instance, so that I wouldn't need to anyway. But yeah, things can just be changed very, very quickly. Um, I'm not even sure if. Let me pull this over here and look around real quick. Okay, so it is doing. Let me grab this guy. I'm just gonna take that guy out altogether. So yeah, lots of these numbers will need fiddling with. Oh, you know what's causing problems. I know what's causing problems. Let me go back to that master material. Not the landscape. I just now realized everything actually has roughness of 1 and specularity of 0. There we go. Um, I would say percentage wise for this game, like percentage to completion is maybe around 15%. Um, which is not very far. There's lots of game mechanics that I don't have in yet. There's lots of that's a bit too silly now, but that's fine. That does fix a lot of the stuff I was looking at though, because I was like, why does my landscape and everything look insane? And it was because so much of it was like glossy. But yeah, I would say about 15%. So maybe a lot more than that. It's weird because a lot of what I've done so far is the like fundamental workings to things, right? So now, in order to like, let's say I want to add in a new map, right? Well, now I have a lot of assets that I can use, and I can make a nature map pretty easily. So I don't know, maybe it'd be closer to like 20%, just in terms of like what's been included so far. And then the good news is that a lot of what exists past where I currently am is just making the like actual rules and stuff actually working. So, for example, let me go ahead and hit play here, right? Is I've got characters they can run around, they can interact with each other, and a lot of this sort of like networky kind of stuff is set up. What I want to have by Friday is a main menu and an ability to create sessions, and then have your other network person join those sessions. And once basically all of that is in, and there's like a selection of maps, and you can play around and move around in that, a huge part of the groundwork has been laid. So it's tricky to say 20% or like how percent stuff is, because maybe it's a lot, maybe it's a little. I don't know. It'll be more clear once there's more in and a lot of more of the like workflows are streamlined. But currently, I would say not a lot, just the bare bones of the like really critical stuff. Hello, welcome, Dusted Ash. I'm doing all of this in blueprints. I actually don't know any C languages. I only know, hold on, Lushful. I don't know any C languages. I only know blueprints. And the only language I actually know is Python. I could go through and, of course, like learn some other languages, and it would be really, really helpful too. But one of the things for just all of this whole game development journey is that that just takes a tremendous amount of time, right? So the question is like, is it worth it to go learn a programming language to do some things more efficiently? Maybe, but for what I'm working on, I don't necessarily think that that is such. Um, I think blueprints will suit most of my needs just fine here. 80 with a difference of 15? No, 20. No, 35. Whoosh. So here we have our sparse grass that perpetuates into our tall full grass. And it's doing a lot. Like this was, oh boy, there's so many things that just did not, like I've put a lot of effort into, which I'm glad I have now. One of the things that bothers me about grass is, or that just bothers me in general, is whenever you have something that is random, over a wide enough spectrum, all random things cease being random, right? So the example I was giving someone the other day is that if you randomly take numbers between 0 and 100, right? And say you take 10 numbers that are randomly between 0 and 100. Those 10 numbers will be random. They're just random numbers, right? But let's say you take a million numbers that are randomly selected from a range of 0 to 100. It will then be clear that even though the numbers are random, that they're all within the range 0 to 100. And that 0 to 100 scale will be very clear and not random at all. It'll be like extremely fixed. And the point I'm trying to make here is that when you look at grass, right, this grass that I have, even though it's like randomly scaled and randomly set up like this, all of the grass will be very, very solidly between a certain range of height. So like breaking that up is kind of really hard to do. And that's what's so awesome about the grass that I've gone through the process of making when you look at things like this, is that here we have like a bald spot, and that's a very natural thing. It's hard to find, like, it's hard to implement this kind of variation in anything really. Just 3D does not like being very. Computers love being very methodical, right? So getting something to look varied like this is actually kind of difficult. And so far it's gone pretty well. And this is not done with any kind of like, there's many different things I could do to like increase this even more. And I'm not doing any of those yet. This is just the raw model that makes it look like this way. I believe that going from C sharp to Python is easier than going from Python to C sharp. Or I'm no, I'm sorry. Going from Python to C sharp is easier than the reverse. I wouldn't know. I'm still using blueprints. And then this is my tall grass, which should have the wildest variation. So we'll say 0.66 to 1.33, 0.66 to 1.33, and then from 0.75 to 1.25. And there should be a big distance between these as well, which is like 50. Oh, and then cast shadow should be turned off. So now if I go through and I paint like this, there should be randomly kind of little tufts of tall grass that actually stick up like this, which is perfect. And then it's from those tall grass tufts that we could do single instances of the pampas grass. So looking at just this, I can do a random pitch angle of like 15 degrees. Um, so let me find some of these like tall grass patches here. So boom, 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 right? Maybe find another one, right? So here's one. And I do need to fix those normals, right? So now we can go through, we have our field here, field of grass, stuff going on. And we can fix those. We can fix, everything can be fixed. I also think I'm missing a sky atmosphere, which will help tremendously. In fact, I don't have a sky atmosphere. That might be where literally all of my problems are coming from. Let's see if I add in a sky atmosphere and that fixes literally everything. Oh dear Lord. No, I have a sky atmosphere. It's just not doing very good at the moment. That's fine. I have. Not for anything that I'm doing just yet. And in part because there's like a lot of things that again I'm just setting up the groundwork for testing. But yes, I have used the grass output node for the material landscape before. Yes, yes. All of this, so Um, a lot of these things that I'm doing now are kind of testing to see if they work, and then we'll work on building them up from there. So, one of the things is for like an auto landscape material. You can set it up so that when you like do the landscape, it'll have like grass, and then as hills go down, that'll like turn into like dirt or stone. And that's all stuff that can be done and certainly will be done just to make life easier. But for now, if we're testing to just see how an environment will look, um, get to play around in this foliage mode and just see, do these things look okay together? Um, or do they not? Our trees. There's a few things that are funky. I can tell that our tree material is doing some weird stuff. Where is instance for the leaves? Right. Where's the master thing? Strange. Yeah. Just prototyping a lot of stuff at the moment. Um, Figuring out how stuff can work or should work or is supposed to work. Like here, this shadow is just very dense. Um, think I know what I might do to change some of that. It's very, you know what I've got going on that's actually causing problems? Like as I'm looking at each individual thing right now. Um, Where is my character? Dodgeball character here. Camera. Don't don't look at my spaghetti code. Um, there is the exposure. Oh, right? Cool. Yes. It's not really what I want, but that's certainly not correct. Is it just zero? I just don't want it changing around so much. Yeah, that'll work fine. For now. For now. All stuff to be changed soon. Spaghetti is delicious. I hope I finish without a problem as well. There's certainly a lot to do. I'm excited for today's stream to end and everything to look terrible, and then to see you guys again on Wednesday and have everything look much, much better. Let's take the cast shadows off. Yeah, man. Cute little flowers. Let's add in a bunch of the different little flowers here. Uh, Cast shadows. Make little thickets of these that are really dense. Do like 500. Whoop. Let's see how my square flowers look. Yeah, you'd never be able to tell that those are squares. Like you can, presumably, if you get like really close, like unfortunately close to them, but for the most part, they look fine. Little clusters. Because this right here, and this is like an important thing, is just how near, far, close, whatever, what have you, is your camera going to get to anything. And there's not going to be a situation in which the camera actually even gets to here, right? This is not a situation that the camera is ever going to see. The closest it's ever really going to get is about this far. So the fact that those are just little tiny squares is a non-issue. Um, where's the other ones? The flowers. I think these came out pretty darn well. Yeah, that's how it goes, is that like even just a few features or like a few visual cues as to what's going on can like really change how everything looks, usually for the better. Let's take these, and let's make these also really dense, like 500. These guys I'm a bit excited for since they'll stand kind of above everything else. Yeah, yeah. And they've got like the full roundabout thing going on as well. So yeah, lots of color manipulation I need to do, lots of camera stuff that I need to do. But I think I'm on track. So again, if you look at the sort of thumbnail for this stream and the past couple videos I've done, that was kind of like an initial visual goal. And I think that there's a lot that we can do to bring this to that level, and have it look pretty darn good, complete with menus and stuff. I do like where the leaves have gone so far because I don't know. This is for like a base level unedited thing, right? That like I can catch the leaves kind of out of my periphery and they look like this just sort of hazy mess. I do like that. I think the other thing I might add in there is like I'm just having ideas. I'm having lots of ideas for how to go about doing some stuff here. But I think, was there anything else that I haven't added in yet? Oh, and then the clovers here. Let me put these Z offset 10 minimum, and we'll do. Whoosh. Oh no, turn off the flowers as well. So, and I think these look pretty nifty as well. And I might make that like 1,000. Little bit of clover action going on. Um, so yeah, I think there is a fun amount that we can do to turn this into something pretty nice. So the plan is that for Friday, again streaming today, Wednesday, and Friday. That maybe make that like 3 and 5. That for Friday, there'll be a menu that you can navigate, and that'll take you into a couple different levels. And then each of those levels will have its own set of things going on. The gameplay won't be different, but there will be menus, there will be sessions, and everything will just kind of work as a base form game. Me too. Breeze wafting is a is a great feature. There's other things to add into this as well. So, like currently the ground is obviously just one solid color. I need to make a texture to break that up. So we're gonna have to go into Substance Painter, and adjust all of that stuff. Um, Adding in like waves of wind that like ripple through the grass and kind of through everything as well. So I will at some point need to make kind of a unified directional wind thing so that everything kind of blows in the same direction. So if there's a breeze, it feels like there's a breeze rather than just a weird ambient movement to everything. Let me go pick up my dodgeballs here. Shwoop. Um, let's see. What else is there to make? I wonder if what else is there to make and do? Because there's a lot of just number editing and like going in and saying like, okay, these should be the colors of things. These are like pretty close to what things should look like. I actually think I was kind of worried about the pampas grass, the pampas grass. I was kind of worried about it, but it's not quite as bad as I thought it was. Oh, you know what? Let me try something else for that real quick. Let me open up Blender for just a moment here. I just had an idea. I just had a wild idea. Um, yeah. Give me a second for wild idea land. But yeah, is I don't know. I thought I was going to stream till about 5 o'clock today. 5 o'clock my time. It's currently almost 1 o'clock here. But I don't know that I will because a lot of this, like I say, is just going to be going through and like tweaking sliders back and forth, just very, very small amounts for hilarious amounts of time. And I don't know that that is the most entertaining thing that you could ever see. Um, so I might do it a bit differently. But let me check out something in Blender real quick. Is I'm going to take, well, so first of all, I'm going to take this since I know its normals are already calculate outside. So that should be better. And then for this, let me actually take what I've got going on up here. Let me hide a bunch of stuff, as I don't need all of this. I just need this. Okay. Let me turn off my normals as well. So instead of doing it this way, let me take all of this, and for now, I'll separate it as some other thing, just in case. Um, and we'll come back into here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in, and I'm going to do it very simply, is I'm going to add in a sphere, make it kind of look like this. And then if I go into the UV editing and I take this sphere, one of the things that I can do is, um, you know what? I lied. Let me make an even simpler sphere. Yeah, like that. This is going to be kind of strange, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Today is the day for experimentation. So I'm gonna take one of these, rip it off. Oh, no, no, no. I can do no, I can do this. AU reset, I believe, is the one. Yes. Perfect. And then I can take that whole thing and just sort of lay it on here. And if I go into material preview, I realize I'm doing this on the wrong map here, which is unfortunate. But um boom boom. Please, guy, thing. No. Well, I shouldn't say never, but no current plans to do any tutorials on a racing game. But I've also just never done a racing game before. So that could be why. And I know why my thing isn't working up here. This needs to be alphas. Um, but yeah, just because I've never done one doesn't mean I couldn't or wouldn't. So this, then if I take this and we're just going to rotate it a little bit like such. I could have done this in any order. But if I do that, and just real quick, let's try this as pampas grass. So file, File, export FBX as my single export tester. And let's see how that looks in Unreal here. Where's my re-import? Oh, that's gross. Um, Working on C++ with Blender, or I mean C++ and blueprints. Um, I don't know. It's weird. So, oh, sorry. I'm keeping up with the chat there, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's so much exciting stuff. Um, so first question is just any tips on working with C++ and blueprints? Um, no, I have not touched the C++ side of things, so I actually don't know much about the C++ side. As far as blueprints go, I do know that the two systems are integrated very heavily. So if you're working with C++, like you kind of have to have it interface with the blueprint system. Um, but unless you're making like a very large game that requires a lot of like optimization and stuff, I would say just absolutely don't even mess with C++. Just learn blueprints and only really dip into C++ when you need to, which that would probably be my advice on it. Um, as for Split Second was a great racing game. That was a really fun game. Let me take a look. I've made a bit of a mistake here. Maybe there's something called. Oh, goodness. It should just have. Um, it created all of these extra things, and I'm a bit irate. Because I don't need all of them. But if I just set all of them to Pampas Grass, then eventually one of them will do what I need it to do, right? Oh, oh, and I've got right. File export FBX single export tester. Hmm. Hmm. Oh no, because it should be unwrapped. Oh well, this is something to mess around with later. So yeah, so my new question is how much more do I want to stream and do this today? Because like I say, there's a lot of it that's going to be messing around with numbers and values, just in an effort to figure out how everything's working here. So I think what I might do is I might call it here at 1 o'clock. I might do a short stream today. Just because there's going to be a lot of fidgeting. And then on Wednesday, we'll get to actually laying out the levels and maybe the sessions and stuff like that. And then by Friday, Yeah, it should be set up so that my patrons, at least the wanderers, I'm sorry, the adventurers, will be set up to download, and you could play it on a local network. You will not be able to play it online yet, but you should be able to play it over a local network come Friday. And I think that's the plan. Yes. So then the question I'll pose for you guys who are still here in chat is I've been closing out each stream with usually it's a match of so far it's only been a match of Hunt Showdown. My question is there a different game you guys might like to see? If I or should I close out with a game, or does anyone mind or care one way or another? Because yeah, I think we'll call the stream here for today. I believe that. No worries. Thank you for popping in for sure. I think I'm gonna come up because again, still trying to figure out how this whole thing is gonna be fitting together. Um, I yes. Well, also I'll do One Step from Eden. I haven't done One Step from Eden. I haven't played One Step from Eden in a while. I know I saw you guys playing it a while ago. Uh, where is One Step? Yeah, there it is. All right, so yeah, we'll do a game of One Step from Eden as a oddly specific per request, and then we'll close out the stream for today. All right, save that. Probably don't want to have Unreal and Blender and 1,000 other things going on at the same time. I also think my throat is going. I did a lot of shouting over the weekend, and I don't think I'm fully recovered for that yet. It wasn't bad shouting. It was a lot of fun. Thingamadoo. Yeah, no, I already know. I played it on controller, but I don't actually remember. I don't remember hardly anything about it. Um, so One Step from Eden. Do I even maybe did I play it on controller? I don't remember. Yeah. Oh man, I don't remember this game at all. I don't remember any of this. Okay. Oof. Let's just go with whatever I was doing previously. I don't remember any controls. Give me 2 rounds to remember anything. Oh boy. Don't like that I've got Xbox controls. Alright, vaguely. It's coming back just a little bit. Oh. Oof. Right. Man. Okay. Oh, goodness. So one step from Eden, for anyone who doesn't know, is it's a roguelike game. And the whole idea is that you have a kind of deck of cards that you go through the process of making. And it's by making that deck, you get essentially randomly assigned cards, and you can go through and you lay them out on the field in different patterns and such, and try and make a game do whatever it's supposed to do here. I realize that's a very poor description for anything I could possibly offer you here, but... Right, okay. Vaguely. And now I can make... Right. Okay. Vaguely remembering things here. Vaguely. But this is another little game that was quite... I don't know. I think it's pretty cheap on Steam, and I highly recommend. I think it's a really good game. Nope. I've already forgotten how to pull up the map there. Clearly. I can press tab though. Yeah. Ooh, just was hit by every version of that I could possibly be hit by. Yeah, no, for a $3 game, absolutely. Oop. Big memories here. But how are you doing there, Cash? How's it going? Thank you. Yeah, today was not the most exciting stream. Feel a bit strange about today. Just trying to figure out how to like stream in general can be a bit difficult. Well, that was an unfortunate situation. Part of it too is I'm just nervous about like having a bunch of people sort of in stream watching me do stuff. I know like currently right now it says I have 5 people, and I appreciate that I know a number of them are people I I know who are watching me for the hours, which thank you guys. Some people I don't know though, which is also super cool. But just I lied to you. I'm not going to be able to think and do this at the same time. That was a damn dirty lie that I cannot actually. Okay, don't like that one. Don't like that one at all. Oh, that's... Ooh. Yeah, buddy. Sorry, yeah, my ability to think and do this at the same time is not high. Oh, ow, 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 ow. I don't even remember where their health bar is, or my health bar. Jesus. I have no idea how close or not close that was. Oh, man. Good night. I also remember that you should generally save people as much as possible. Oh yeah, I can't. I have no memory of anything in this game. But yeah, there's a lot left I have to do. And like just in the last streams, I had a much clearer idea of where I wanted to end up by the end of the day. And today, not so much. Today, I wasn't too sure at all what it is I wanted to accomplish. And I certainly did do a lot, but I don't think streaming all of the remaining things that I need to do in order to make it look good is going to be particularly amusing. Because a lot of it is going to be going back and forth between two projects and just remembering how I set things up and why I did things certain ways. And there's just not a lot of commentary there, a lot of fun stuff to be said about it. Plus, it would look really ugly for a long time before it starts to look pretty again. So, that's one of those weird things about, I don't know. It feels like at least easier when you're streaming with games, because I can make it look like, yeah, here's a cool thing that I'm playing, right? And if I do badly, then that's okay, I'm just playing a game. Right? Whereas they're like, people expect you to kind of know what you're talking about with the... you're saying, oh yeah, I developed things. Well, there's their health bar. I see their health bar. Right. Alright, that's clicking. I remember. I forgot that was even a thing. So yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Just having confidence, getting over some of that good old imposter syndrome stuff of why should anyone tune in for stuff? Hard to answer. Yeah, so far it's funny too, just on the topic of stuff, people saying hey, do you yeah, I don't remember any parts of this game. Yeah, I do think there were a number of people who were just having fun hanging out, which I'm super thankful for. Yeah, I very truthfully do not have any idea what I'm doing. If it looks like I understand, I don't. Oh, I'm not going to be able to... Yeah, she's dead. I was just supposed to rescue someone, and I remember so little about this game and how to do anything that I just straight murdered them instead. So, I think also the first boss I could have spared, and I definitely did not spare. Yep, I'll pretend like I know how to do that. Next place, please. Oh, it's doing good. Oh, that's gonna hurt. That's fine. Intentional. Oh, man. But, like, the thing that's really great about this game is that it's a really, really good example of how you just don't need the fancy graphics. Like, a really, really simple idea can be all you need in order to make something good. Oh, if I recall, I need to be in these, right? It's good if I am. Yes. I don't know what I'm doing. I am just pushing buttons as I try to remember. Yeah, whatever you are supposed to be doing in this, I don't remember. I did finally figure out where my health is, though, which is nice. If I just toss out enough abilities over enough time, surely something will happen. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that I made it through that. I will spare this one. I will not kill her. Oh! Ow. Yeah, I don't remember how to play this game at all. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm selecting stuff completely randomly. There's no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing here. Oh, Jesus, ow. Come on. There we go. Yeah. No, this is not the game. This is a game. This is the end of stream game here. Yeah. It's probably going to be a short stream today, just because I'm a little unfocused in what it was I wanted to accomplish in the game today. So there's a lot of settings that I'm still going to work on, but hopefully by hopefully by a little bit Wednesday. Hopefully by Wednesday, there'll be a much clearer sort of course of action that I'm trying to take. Can I just... Okay. But yeah, no, this is a really fantastic game called One Step from Eden. It was like a really big indie game quite a while ago, like several years, or I want to say around like 2014 or somewhere in that time. And it's still just as good. Like in the world of gaming that exists at the moment, it is a quite good game. Oh, I forgot about those. I remember those do something. How you doing today? How you doing today, Tukmak? Tukmak. Tukmak. Something along those lines. I only have like a certain amount of time to get that, don't I? I just don't remember. Oh well. But I might call it also at the end of this world here. Yeah, I think I'll probably call it at the end of this world, and then Wednesday I'll just make sure that I've got a slightly more cohesive plan for what I want to have done by the day. And I think the boss is next. Yeah, we'll call it this. I just stepped off of the train. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Boy, no, I don't remember these fights at all. Oh my god. Hit every button. Just hit every button until it dies. That's the plan. Yeah. This game is called One Step from Eden. It's super cheap on Steam, and it was a really, really, really like acclaimed indie game when it came out several years ago. Um, but I think I'm going to call it there. How do I... Yeah. Abandon run. Oh, there's streaming options. Fancy. Um, but yeah, One Step from Eden. It's a really good roguelike. I'm probably going to call it there. Next stream will be on Wednesday. And I think I'm just going to have a more concrete plan of what I want to accomplish that day. Today felt kind of aimless and rambly. But I think if I have like a very specific goal for what I want to have done by the end of Wednesday, that'll make it easier to like also have an endpoint and be like, aha, I have completed the thing. I feel fulfilled about the thing I've completed. Plus today, also just a lot of the stuff I was working on wasn't like looking quite as good as I wanted it to, which I think was having a bit of an impact. But thank you guys for coming in and hanging out. Yeah. So take care of there. You guys get some rest, and I will see you guys in the morning here, okay?